Hi everyone, it's Clyde again at Vibrant Soap, and I'm making a soap called Jaipur today, and it's another one of my soaps that was inspired by my trip to India. If you want to see the first one that I did, it's called Taj Mahal, and I'll leave a link for that one at the end. And also, I'm only going to concentrate on when I put this whole soap together, because there were so many different things that I had to do first. I had to make the embeds, and I have to show you how I embedded the embeds into the slab so they wouldn't move around when I poured them, because these embeds were affixed to the bottom of the slab mold. So if you want to see all that, then I'll put it in this information area, so just hit that little I, and you can see me talking about color there and how I made the embeds and how I placed them. And then we can get right to the soap making, which is right now. Okay, I'm going to be soaping at about 70 degrees today. And I've already blended this, but I'm going to blend it again. It's got my oils, milks, kaolin clay. Decided to use a exotic fragrance called Kismet. Sort of an incense-like fragrance. And it has really grown on me. I really like it now. It just reminds me of walking into one of those antique stores with antique furnitures and things from around the world. And let me get my lye solution in there. Get the fragrance in there. Get it to emulsification. Then I'm going to pour it into my colors. This is going to be for my white. This is going to be a silvery gray. Light pink. And a deeper pink. Okay, so I can let the pink sit for a while I take care of the silver gray and the white. And the idea here is to make something that looks like white and gray marble, so it doesn't distract from the colors of the embeds. This part's going to get poured first. Let's get this gray. Would like that to be a little bit more gray, something that you have to see before you can adjust it after it's blended a little. I don't want it too contrasty because it'll distract from the embeds. And then I'm going to do an in the pot swirl with this. And it's okay if I stir this in a little bit more than usual. I can just get all of that in there. By soaping at a cooler temperature, I can proceed without worrying that it's going to start accelerating. This fragrance isn't supposed to, so let me give this a little more turns than usual and get my mold in here. So I don't want to disturb these embeds, so I'm going to use this spoon to carefully get it in at first. It looks like the embeds aren't really budging, so I can be a little more brave now. really have to tap this down because I think that the embeds can trap some bubbles. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the gray and the white. And the deeper pink. I don't mind this being a little more thick. It's behaving perfectly. Okay, I'm going to do my in the pot swirl with this now. You really have to know your containers too to do something like this so that you don't have an overflow. And I didn't want any of this pink to be poured up next to the embeds because I would lose the pink embeds. It would just be surrounded by pink and you would kind of lose the effect. Give that a little bit of a turn. Now the reason why I said that I can stir this a bit more than usual is because I want there to be a slight effect in the color, and I don't have to worry about disturbing the color because it's really pink in pink. Let's see how this is. Okay, this is setting up nicely. Let's pound this down one more time. I think I'll just pour close to the surface. Yeah, it's not going to break through. I can't wait to unmold this one. All the design elements are hidden on the very bottom, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to cover this over and bring you back when I unmold it. Okay, the first step is to get this out of the mold. Just turn that upside down. And while I can see that pattern already, I already know ahead of time that once I get these out of the mold and cut, I'm going to plane each bar so that the design is really clear. The design of the embeds. So notice that the silicone liner, this thing right here, came out of the wood slab mold really easily this time, and part of that is because the soap set up longer, it's not really flexible, and so it just kind of falls out. Well, that's pretty cool. And after I plane it, all of these little parts are going to be less cloudy. So that's really neat. Okay, so let me reposition this and cut it. Okay, so I'm going to cut this by halves. So I'm going to just keep taking half until it's all cut. That's how I planned it. So that's going to be 6 3/4 right there. Double check. Well, it's good to double check because I did that wrong. So 12 1/2 would be 6 1/4 right there. Double check that. Yeah. I got this big knife in the cutlery department of a kitchen supply, baking supply store. years ago. Part of what you're looking at here is the melt and pour clear soap that I poured along with the embeds to keep them in place. So I knew I would be planing that away. Let's move this one aside. I should show you the top that now became the bottom of the soap. And I made it pink because the name of this soap is Jaipur, and Jaipur is known as the Pink City. Okay, so let's measure again. So I'm doing this by halves. So let's do this. So 4 1/2 and an extra 1/8. About right there. Double check. And I'm going to switch to pinky here, and the reason I'm doing that is because this is a thinner blade, so it's not going to wedge and crack the soap. I think I lost my mark. And it helps if you want to cut straight to get right over your knife, so you can see that your blade is going straight down. Move this aside. I can show you the side of the soap now because the pink was 2 different pinks. That looks kind of cool already. Okay, I'm going to half these again. So that's 6 1/4, so 3 1/8. That aside. Wow, look at that. So notice that there are 2 in the pot swirls. So this one has the white and gray. I like that color gray too. It's like a bluish gray. And this is the pink and the deeper pink. And I really miss this when I cut with this blade, this flat blade here. It cuts with a nice sheen to it that the wire cutters can never do. I really do miss that. So I'm glad that I still have pinky here. Alright, one more cut. So that's about 4 1/2. So 2 1/4. These are going to be big bars. So we can clean these up a bit. This is a high maintenance soap. I realize that, but I like a challenge. And this is how techniques are born, and then you find ways to make the process a little more easy and a little more quick. So I'm really happy with the result, very happy, and I really like how it was really a kind of a chance I took to get the right gray there, because I really wanted it to look like marble, and I think it does. I'm going to bevel the sides. I also used a bigger batch size so that the trimmings wouldn't make this a really tiny soap. Okay, so I'm going to plane the bottom too. That's great. Inside, I think I actually need to plane the top a little bit more. Beautiful. There you go. So I'm going to weigh this and come right back and tell you what it weighs. So what looks like a little bar is about 6.5 ounces. It's a good, healthy size. Feels good in the hand. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. Okay, so let me go and do another one. By the way, I don't let any of these shavings go to waste. I keep them, I usually put it in a sachet like bag, and can still use it as soap. Oh, because it is soap. But you gotta love that gray and white. It really turned out to be the right combination there to look like that marble. It feels cold like marble too. It's just like I can't believe it's soap, and I should since I made it. I got this planer online a long time ago. I can't even tell you where I got it. It's been such a long time. Okay, that's all of them. Now I've got to just clean them up a little bit more and take my photos of them. Thanks for watching.